Good morning. It's Saturday, August 1st, 2026, and this is Part 11, Amentum Plaintiff Filings. So what I'll be talking about are the filings that I filed with the court, and it's the U.S. District Court of Northern Florida, Pensacola Division, and it's Nelson versus Amentum. So ECF 1 was filed August 6th of 2025. And that was my initial filing in this case, and this is my very first time filing a complaint from scratch. So that complaint, I did the complaint and I attached exhibits, which included the EEOC Notice of Right to Sue letter, which is required. I included the written reprimand I was issued on August 6th of 2025. I included the rebuttal to the reprimand that was also written on August 6, 2025, timeline of events, email to the payroll specialist, leave of absence letter that was sent out August 13, 2025. That filing was denied by the judge because it was more than 25 pages, which it has to be 25 pages or less, and it contained shotgun pleadings. And that complaint also did not have a required document, which was the Pro Se 7 discrimination form, which is required. So I had to refile that complaint. So ECF 5, which was filed on September 4th, 2025, that filing included the Pro Se 7 form, the amended complaint, the attachment to the Pro Se 7 form, which is the statement of facts and claims, and the charge of discrimination form, which is required. And that also exceeded 25 pages and contained elements of shotgun pleadings. So this is a trial and error, on-the-job training, basically. So that was denied by the judge, so I had to refile that motion. So there were many revisions that had to be made to my complaint to get it correct. So I kept going until I finally got it correct. Okay, so the next filing was ECF 7, which was filed on September 22nd, 2025, which was the second amended complaint. I shortened the exhibit list to get it under 25 pages. So I included the EEOC letter, like I said, is required, the written reprimand, the rebuttal, the medical leave of absence, and those exhibits are on pages 13 through 17. I filed the second amended complaint, Pro Se form attachment, which is on page 19 through 20. So I was able to get that filing under 25, so it was 20 pages. Okay, so ECF 16 was the motion for leave to file the third amended complaint, and that was filed on 10/24/25. So when you amend a complaint, you have to get permission from the court, which is called motion for leave to file whatever. So once the court gives you permission, then the complaint will be filed and put on the docket. So the judge can either grant it or deny it. So anyway, that was the third amended complaint. ECF 17 was the third amended complaint filed on November 5th of 2025, pages 1 through 9. With this complaint, I included other exhibits because the exhibits that were most important were already attached to the previous filings. So with ECF 18, I attached the formal complaint, and these are all internal complaints filed before we got to the point where I filed the lawsuit. So the formal complaint was filed with HR. The request for a formal investigation was also filed with HR. The impact statement, timeline of events, termination letter, because my other case with Curtis Wright, I had a deposition on October 28th, 2025. The very next day, I was terminated from Amentum on 10/29/25. I was still on a leave of absence, but anyway, on 10/29 I was terminated. So the termination letter is included, the email from the attorney representing Amentum, which is Lindsay Swigger, who also works for Jackson Lewis PC. Her office is in Jacksonville. The Curtis Wright attorneys are located in Greenville, South Carolina, and Swigger is located in Jacksonville, Florida. So the email to the union rep, he's the District 75 rep, Jamie Littlefield. Email for him because I request grievance assistance. I sent him an email on 8/25, and I also sent him an email on 10/16. The 10/16 email is in the exhibits, and those are pages 12 through 27, and that's exhibit 18. So ECF 22 is a supplemental complaint that I tried to add. It's count 11 for retaliation for protected activity post-deposition termination. So that was because of the termination the day after the deposition with Curtis Wright. And that was filed on November 13, 2025. The exhibits are the subpoena to Amentum from Curtis Wright and the deposition notice from the Curtis Wright case, pages 10 through 20. The complaint was stricken by the judge on November 13, 2025. Basically, they were saying that the judge struck my claim. I was unable to add that count to my complaint. So I filed ECF 24, which is a motion for leave to file the Fourth Amendment complaint. And that was filed on November 17, 2025. ECF 29 is motion for sanctions for bad faith and proper disclosure, retaliation, and cross-case and coordination. And that was filed 12/1/2025, pages 1 through 6. Basically, I was claiming that the attorneys for Curtis Wright and Amentum were working together. And that's called cross-case coordination, and they're not supposed to do that. And I was asking for sanctions, which is like a form of punishment that can be issued by the judge for anyone not following the court rules or any kind of misconduct. So the judge denied my motion. So anyway, we move forward. So ECF 37, motion for leave for Fifth Amendment complaint, was filed December 30th, 2025. And then there was a motion for leave for the Sixth Amendment complaint filed January 20, 2026. ECF 53 was response in opposition to defendant's motion to dismiss Sixth Amendment complaint. So by the time we got to ECF 46, and I filed the motion for the Sixth Amendment complaint, it was starting to get serious. The corrections that I had to make, if it didn't get corrected, my case would have gotten dismissed. I responded in opposition to defendant's motion, which is ECF 53. And then ECF 54 is when I filed a motion for leave for the Seventh Amendment complaint, which is 313. I filed it on 3/13/26, and I also filed the Seventh Amendment complaint on 3/13/26. So I filed 3 motions on March 13th of 2026. ECF 53, 54, and 55. The court has yet to rule on any of those motions. So since March 13th, as of August 1st of 2026, the judge has not ruled on my Seventh Amendment complaint. Okay, little background. The Seventh Amendment complaint, I knew if I did not correct the deficiencies, that my case would be dismissed. So defense counsel was saying that my complaints did not state a claim and they consisted of shotgun pleadings. Okay, so I got some assistance, and writing the 7th amended complaint and correcting the issues. As far as stating the claim, I felt that I accomplished that. And the shotgun pleadings, I wasn't sure about that. And before I filed, I wanted to make sure that that was corrected. So I went to a veterans event in Tallahassee, Florida, because I actually drove to Pensacola to file the 7th amended complaint. And Tallahassee is on the way. And so I stopped to that event, which was on March 12th. And they were offering free legal advice. So I went to the event, spoke with an attorney by the name of Cindy. I gave her my documents and I asked her, I said I wanted to make sure that my filing didn't have any shotgun pleadings in them. All right? As an attorney, you could look at my document and tell if there's shotgun pleadings in there. But here is some of the issues. They gatekeep the information that they give you because they want you to pay for legal services. Simple question. Any attorney can answer it. So anyway, I asked her about the shotgun pleadings. I told her a little bit about the case. And then she said, oh, I know Lindsay Swigger. I said, okay. And so she was like, I know someone that can help you with this. Her name is Marie Maddox. Okay. And so she kept pushing this attorney on me. And I was like, all I really need to know is if there's shotgun pleadings in this filing. And so she's like, oh, since your filing is due tomorrow, I can't answer that. I said, so you can't look at this and tell me if there's shotgun pleadings in there? She said, no. So she kept pushing me to go to Marie Maddox's office. Oh, she's not far. She's always there, and she's only like 5-10 minutes away. And she gave me the address, and she kept pushing me to go see this attorney. Right? So I went to the attorney's office. Let me back up. So when I gave her the copy of the filing, she took my filing, got on the phone, she called someone, and she walked away. She went into another room to talk to whoever she talked to. And then when she came back, I was like, who are you talking to? She was like, oh, I just called to see if Marie was over there, da-da-da. And like I said, she kept pushing me to go to this lady's office. So when I got to Marie Maddox's law firm, the attorney was a male attorney. He had already called Lindsay Swigger and asked her if she would be okay if we got an extension to file. I thought that was, I was like, first of all, who the hell gave you permission to call her? And I didn't ask for a goddamn extension, you know? And so he was like, I don't know the magistrate judge on your case, but the district judge, she's usually in favor of companies, right? I was like, okay, that's interesting. So anyway, I asked them about the shotgun pleadings. Nobody wants to answer my question. It's like, well, we can take a copy of your filing and then give you a call. These people never called me because I never agreed to let them represent me. First of all, you're discussing my case with other people without my permission. You're contacting the defense counsel in the case without my permission. So these are barrable offenses. So anyway, I went to my hotel. I looked it up myself. And I Googled it. And I was like, examples of shotgun pleadings. Wouldn't you know it? My filing has shotgun pleadings in it. And it was plain as day. So I went in the next day because the filing was due on the 13th. So that morning of the 13th, I went to the library or wherever, and I deleted all the shotgun pleadings in the document. So at this point, I believe that I fixed all the deficiencies. So there weren't any shotgun pleadings. I filed it with the court. And since March 13th, like I said, those documents have not been ruled on. But defense filed a document in opposition to one of my filings. It was ECF 57. and said it should be stricken because I didn't get permission from the court. I didn't file a motion for leave to respond. And so I was like, okay, if you want to have it stricken, file it. I'm not going to contest it, because at this point, I've already waited 3 months and the judge still had not filed. So she filed her motion the beginning of June. Within 2 weeks, the judge ruled on her motion, but my motion was still pending. It's still pending from March 13th to now. So he ruled on defense's motion to strike, but left my motion for leave and my 7th amended complaint in response in opposition to defendant's motion to dismiss 6th amended complaint, all filed on March 13th. They're still pending. He has not made a ruling. That's unusual for you to leave a motion sitting for that long, but then you rule on defendant's motion and respond within 2 weeks. So anyway, that's where I am with my case. I believe it's ECF 60 maybe. We're up to 60 filings, which is not bad, considering I'm at 330 with the Curtis Wright case. So 60 is not bad. But anyway, so I filed a notice requesting the judge to make a ruling. So I don't know if that's been ruled on yet, but I'm still waiting. So the case started out fine. It seemed to be somewhat fair, but now it's taken a turn. So they're pausing making a ruling on my motions because I cleared the deficiencies. Because had my rulings were non-compliant, then they would have already dismissed the case by now. So I wouldn't be waiting 4 months for them to dismiss my case if it was incorrect. So I have no doubt that I'm going to win this case because the documents, the evidence is overwhelming, and most of the evidence is filed on the docket already. So another thing I discovered today, my folders in my Curtis Wright case were deleted from my flash drive. How that happened, I don't know, but I accidentally pulled up the files on that corrupted flash drive, and I noticed all of my Amentum files are gone. The whole folder is gone. So I was thinking it was just Curtis Wright, but this proves to me that they are in collusion with each other. Amentum and Curtis Wright. They're trying to destroy documents, but with Amentum, it's crazy because most of my documents are already on the docket. So what are you trying to destroy? And I have copies. So your tactic to destroy evidence is not working, or is not going to work. So like I said, I have no doubt that I will win this case. Defense strategy, mostly it's been to delay. It's mostly been to delay. Like, I'm not worried about this case. It's just that I'm just waiting for the judge to make a ruling 4 months later. But anyway, so that's part 11, Amentum Plaintiff Filings. Stay tuned for part 12, which will be my coverage of defense filings for Amentum. Thank you. Good night.